Hey guys, it's going to Dilmer again and welcome back to my channel. So first of all, thank you again for joining the channel. I really appreciate your time. I also wanted to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, to please do so by just clicking on the button below and hitting subscribe, because it's really going to help me in bringing you a lot more content. Today I'm pretty excited because I'm going to be bringing you a new video series. This new series is going to be focusing on programming, and what I want to do is teach you C# and also Python at the same time. We're going to be basically using Visual Studio Code and then have two different windows open when we're going to be doing C# coding and also Python coding at the same time for the same lesson. So let's jump into my computer and start working on it. Alright guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be focusing on showing you how we can code in C# and also how we can code in Python. I am very passionate when it comes to programming, so I'm hoping that that passion carries out to you. And what I'm going to be doing today is starting the projects. We're going to be creating a C# project and also a project for Python, where we're going to just be using our terminal to do that. So what I'm going to be doing is creating the project for .NET first, and then we can go ahead and work on Python at the same time. So for today's video, there's going to be two phases. We're going to start with creating the projects for both Python and C#, which we're going to be using .NET Core. And then right after we get that done, we're going to be looking into just something as simple as creating variables, declaring variables, different data types, and just starting from the ground up. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project. And this is just going to be a directory where we're going to have two of the different projects. I'm going to have one for C# and also one for Python. So let me think about how I'm going to be naming these. So we can just say C#, we can just call it fundamentals. We can call it C# and Python fundamentals. That's what I'm gonna call it, and that's what I'm gonna be putting in GitHub so that you can download and look at the examples as well. So let me also go into this folder. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using VS Code, and VS Code is an editor that I really enjoy using. It has a lot of power, and it also is available for Linux, for Windows, for Mac. So it's really lightweight, and it actually makes our life a lot easier because it's really fast. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a folder for C#. So this is going to be our C#, basically our C# project. And then I'm also going to be creating a folder for, which is going to be another root folder. So I'm going to escape out of this and then select the top. And then this one is going to be Python. Make sure that they are not both in the same. Let me go ahead and open up the Finder. And then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and drag it and drop it, the parent directory. That way they're both at the same level. So we're going to do C# and also Python. So when it comes to C#, we're going to be creating a new project, and if you haven't done this or you don't have this already, make sure that you download the CLI tools, and you can get those by going into, I can show you .NET Core CLI download, and I'm going to put this link in the description of this video. So just go ahead and download this tool. It's going to basically give you functionality to create projects by using the command line, so we don't have to have any robust IDE to do that. So you download it, and once you download it, you're basically going to have this command available, which is going to be .NET, which is going to basically allow us to create the C# project that we want to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, we can either use this terminal or the terminal that is built in. Let's go ahead and use the terminal that is built in so that we keep everything inside of VS Code. That way everything is, in its own environment. So we're going to be doing everything from here. And I'm also going to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see everything and it's clear for you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my C# folder, and then I'm going to create a new project. This is going to be the project for today's lesson. And what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and call it video 1, and I'll do the same thing with the project for Python, and that way we can build upon that, and then next time we'll have video 2 and so on as I work on each lesson. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to create a new directory inside of the C# folder, and this is going to be video 1, and then we have that. I can go back to my Python one, and in the Python one I'm going to do exactly the same. This is going to be video 1, and then we're going to be working on both at the same time. So this is going to be interesting because I haven't done this where I'm working on both at the same time, but I normally code in many programming languages. So I done Objective-C, I done Python, C#, and C++, and Swift, and so on. And it's really awesome when you start to look at the advantages of using one language, versus another one. And that's what I'm kind of hoping you see as we work on these two at the same time. All right, so let me go ahead and go back to the C#. Let's go ahead and go into C#, and then video 1. And then here I'm going to use the CLI, and this is going to be, we're going to do .NET and then new, and then we're going to just create a console application. It's going to tell us what type we want to create, the name that we want to create, and then for this app, we can just call it video 1 as well. And this is going to be the name of the project that we're creating for C#. And we might have redundant folders. That's what I was afraid of. So let me go ahead and fix that. And then in future videos, I'll make sure to fix that so that we don't do that. And let me just go ahead and let me do this. And let me put it like one folder after. And then I'll just delete this folder. Then we'll go back to this one and drop it back into C#. Okay, so we should be good now. It's just when you create a project with the CLI, it's going to create the folder of the project. So we didn't need to create the folder manually. And then this is just saying that if I want to add the C# extension and the assets to be able to build it, let's just go ahead and say yes. That's fine. And then what I'll do is I'll show you, this is just a Hello World app. And I'm also going to do the same thing in Python so that you can see that we can display that as well. So in Python, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use, purely the terminal. We're going to be coding in Python as well. So I'm just going to have this one right here. And what I'm going to do, I actually need to create a new file. So for Python, let's focus on doing that on the terminal. So I'm going to go here, and then we're going to go back one more. And then let's go ahead and go into Python. And yes, I know that this was an error, a mistake, so we can just ignore that. And there we go. And then what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and I think I can just use touch, and we can just say video1.py. See if that does it. Yep. And then what that does is basically just creates an empty file. And this is going to say the Python extension is recommended for this file type. Let's go ahead and say yes, install it. And this is because I haven't used Python in VS Code, and this is actually cool. I normally use it through the terminal. And I can do something like, well, that is installing. I can show you. I can do Python, and I can basically just type in anything in here, and it'll be valid Python. But when you're building, more robust applications, when you're doing more than just, quick commands, you want something more robust. But there are other IDEs that you can also use that are available for Python. So for what I have right now, I think what we're going to be doing, it's perfect. So I'm just going to say I don't want to add that. And you can change the Python interpreter, and I can't even say that word, but that's okay. Let's just say got it. Okay, so we're good to go. This is going to be our Python script here, and then let's go ahead and go into the hierarchy here, and then I'll put my program, which is going to be my C#. So let me go ahead and set them side by side. So what I have right now, and I don't know what this is, we can just exit out of it. So what I have right now is I have Python code here, and I have C# coding here. Of course, this is going to be a console application. This is just going to be basically a Python file that is going to be outputting information. In fact, if I just say Python and then video 1, it's going to basically run, but it doesn't show anything because we just don't have anything just yet. So what I want to do is I want to show you what we can do with both. And one thing that I can see right now is that we have on the left side, we have hello world, but on the right side, I don't have anything printing. So what I'm going to do on the right side, I'm going to do print, and then I'm going to be basically printing exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to say hello world, and then that's it. And just keep in mind that I haven't done Python for a few months, so if I make mistakes, we'll correct them, and then we'll learn about it together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have two terminals. So this terminal is going to be purely for, let me see where we are. We are in the Python file. So let me go back. And then in this one, I'll just go ahead and set myself to be under the C#, and then we'll go video 1. So this one is going to be for C#, and then I'm going to create a new terminal, which is going to be for my Python code. And I'll show you why I need to do that. Let me go back. I think I went too far. The reason why I want to do this is because I'm going to have to execute two different commands when it comes to, actually running the script. So this is going to be more of a, I'm running the script, and this is going to be, it's a compile language. So we need to compile the code so that it creates an exe. So this one is more of a, this one is not, it's not a type language, meaning that when I run it, it's when it's going to be executed. Where this one, it needs to be compiled and everything needs to be working by the time that I run the executable. And also, if I make a mistake here syntactically, this one is going to complain. This one is just going to say it's going to give me an error at runtime. So we'll learn more about that as I go into different lessons. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear. So this one is going to be, I wish it would show me okay, this one is C#, and then the second one is going to be the Python one. So on the first one, what I can do now, I can say .NET run. And this is actually going to run this code and show you the word hello world. So we know that our C# code is working. So now let's go ahead and go into, and I think I can, this is even better. So it'll be better in other videos, I promise, because I'll have everything prepared. But I'm finding out what I need to do here. Okay, this is awesome, because now I can have both of them running. Okay, so this is my Python one, and then this one is going to be my C#. And then here, what you need to do to run the video one Python code is basically Python space the type of the script. On this one, I just have to do .NET run, and you can see that on both of them we're seeing the word hello world. And this is normally the first thing that you do when you're dealing with code. So that's basically everything that I wanted to show you in this video. Just getting things set up and then printing. I said that I was going to cover variables. Let's go ahead and do that on the next video so that I don't make this one too long. But for the most part, just to give you an overview, make sure that you get VS Code downloaded. Once you have VS Code, also download the .NET CLI, which you can download it from the web, and I'm going to also put it in the description of this video. And then also it's going to require that you install the Python dependencies. And once you create a file called video1 or whatever you want to call it with extensions of py, it's going to tell you that it needs to download additional components. Make sure that you say yes, and once you get to a point, you're going to be where I am. And I'm also going to be including this project in GitHub, so make sure that you look in GitHub if you want to download it. So that's everything that I wanted to show you today, guys. I really appreciate your time, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. Alright guys, thank you much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time, and if you have any questions about what I just showed you, please let me know in the comments. Also be sure to check out GameDev.net because they have amazing resources for developers. And also find me in Patreon.com, where I'm basically posting information about what I'm doing behind the scenes, and also early access to source code. Thank you very much, guys.